You teased several video games coming out this year from Star Wars. There was Battlefront to the latest Need for Speed. Which do you expect to be the biggest hit for the company?
Well, first off, thanks for having me. It's an exciting time here for our industry in Los Angeles. It's certainly our showcase moment for the year. I think, we had a great portfolio yesterday. We talked about a lot of great things, but it's hard to look past Star Wars Battlefront. When you saw the response from the crowd and the response from the media and the response from the internet overall, it's going to be a pretty big thing for us this year.
Another big thing in the gaming industry in general has really been virtual reality. On the last conference call, you mentioned that Electronic Arts has a clear and focused investment in virtual reality. What does that wind up meaning?
Well, listen, we believe that our job is to fulfill the fantasies of game players around the world. And the biggest fantasy that people have is to put themselves into the experience and not have that disconnect of space between them and their screen. Virtual reality does that. And so we're actively looking at our core platform, at our core engine and our core franchises and trying to establish what's the best way to immerse players into the experience through virtual reality. It's going to take some time. This is early days for virtual reality. I don't expect that you're going to see something profound in the next few months, but certainly over the next couple of years, it's hotting up to be a way that a lot of folks around the world are going to play games.
Yeah, so perhaps a long-term view there. Andrew, I want to ask you about FIFA, because the FIFA franchise has been incredibly important to Electronic Arts internationally. I wonder what impact you might project from the troubles that FIFA, the organization, has on the brand of your product.
It's a great question, and for us, we're game makers, and as a game-making company, our job is to build the best football or soccer game possible and deliver on that fantasy that people have to play, as their favourite player or their favourite club inside their favourite league. For the most part, I think our fan base sees FIFA as a game as the epitome of virtual football or virtual soccer for them on their console, on their mobile, on their PC. And I'm not sure they draw direct, correlation between what we do in terms of delivering that virtual experience and what's going on with, FIFA, the organisation. But as a partner to FIFA, we're very supportive of what they're doing and investigating and evaluating how best to deal with the future.
And you mentioned digital. You've been realizing a greater percentage of your revenue from the digital platform. That obviously helps your margin expansion. What about streaming, and what is going to be your revenue mix going forward?
Streaming's another one of these things that I think we're investing behind. We're certainly running tests in various markets across various platforms around how do we use cloud compute plus streaming technology and some kind of local client to deliver more games to more people on more platforms for more of the time. For us, it's less about, when we think about revenue mix, it's less about how someone gets to play and more how they play the game and in what capacity they play and how they connect with their friends to play. And so at a macro level, we're trying to abstract away from the platform or the distribution model or the particular technology they access that game through and really focus on the player and focus on the game they're playing and how to connect them with that game and the friends they play together with.
Andrew, Andrew, you talked a little bit about FIFA and the connection to gamers. Tell us about how pop culture and the prevailing sentiment reduces or fuels demands for a specific title. I noticed that one of the big hits for your company was Dragon Age, and of course there's so many people obsessing over dragons because of Game of Thrones. I'm looking at Alix right here. To what extent does that fuel demand for a title like Dragon Age?
Oh, I'm sure it does. What we're seeing now, and I started in this industry 15 years ago, where gaming was kind of a discrete experience that you did by yourself, in your room, in your basement. Now gaming permeates your life much the way digital music does today, and it's as big a part of pop culture as television, movies, music, and books. And so when you start to see an energy build around a particular IP or a particular genre or just a particular pop culture moment, that's going to bridge. And I'm sure that we benefited, in addition to building a fantastic game that won Game of the Year by from a bunch of media outlets, I'm sure there was great benefit by the fact that Khaleesi has her 3 dragons, and Game of Thrones is a big part of pop culture right now.
Oh, fair enough. All right, Andrew, this is the question. What is your favorite game? You go home, what do you play? You have to pick.
It's like saying which is your favorite child.
Yeah, but everyone has a favorite.
I grew up building FIFA for a long time. It has a very special Yeah, you're right. And I grew up building FIFA. It was a very big part of my life, a very big part of my career for that matter, and it still has that special place in my heart. And so while I have to play everything else, I still love to get back and play FIFA.